Have you ever seen a major club's finances and team structure collapse this rapidly? A club where generational talent is loaned out to solve a debt crisis while they pay 85 million euros for a striker who cannot score. The reality facing Manchester United is that they are staring at an incoming generational collapse. They currently sit 7th in the Premier League, but even worse, their financial model is crippling their future flexibility thanks to absurd transfer amortization costs. Manchester United is plagued by disastrous transfers and a massive fixed cost base. Their combined annual amortization charge is reported to be close to £200 million. They owe other clubs £175.5 million in net transfer payments due before March 2026. Their disaster started with £86 million Anthony and £73 million Jadon Sancho signings, two of the most infamous transfer failures in Premier League history, continue to drain club resources. But let's talk about the players they are locked into. Casemiro, the highest earner at around £18.2 million annual salary, was brought in for stability and leadership, but his high tackle count signals a problem. He's constantly forced into desperate recovery tackles due to poor positioning or being dribbled past. This is a severe physical and defensive regression. And then there's the club's supposed franchise star, Marcus Rashford. He secured a long contract expiring in 2028 and doesn't seem to care about playing football, unless it's for a new contract. His goals and assists per 90 minutes have seen a massive improvement since joining Barcelona alone, proving the issue remains United's structure, not his talent. This leads us to the new transfer disaster, Benjamin Šeško. United paid a reported 85 million euros for this striker. For a fee reserved for an elite, high output player, his goal scoring rate has dropped notably. He has only 2 goals in 621 Premier League minutes. That means United is paying 7.65 million euros in amortization per goal scored this financial year. That's absurd. His non-penalty expected goals is well below top tier standards, showing he fails to reach prime scoring zones regularly. He's isolated, struggling technically, and slowing United's attacking rhythm. This club has also fumbled academy assets, the FFP pure profit creators. They risk damaging Kobe Mainoo's confidence by routinely leaving him out of the starting 11, stifling the development of their most valuable cost-free asset for tactical reasons. They even rejected a loan offer from Napoli, despite the player wanting guaranteed first-team football. And let's not forget the failed integration of massive investments like the £72 million Rasmus Højlund and £47 million Andre Onana, both immediately loaned out. Manchester United is locked into a core, Casemiro, Šeško and others, that is going to get you nowhere. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Premier League table, Wolverhampton Wanderers are dealing with their own inner struggles, and one that's self-inflicted. Wolves' problems are heavily attributed to a restrictive financial model imposed by the ownership. It is an obsession with self-sustainability that has allowed experienced players to leave, leading the club to nosedive towards relegation. Wolves have sold key, influential players like Matheus Cunha and Ryan Aït-Nouri to Manchester United and Manchester City respectively. While these sales generated much needed FFP profit, they weakened the squad's core by failing to bring in quality replacements. And the signings they did make, they are criticised for being cheaper downgrades. The Gonçalo Guedes signing aged like milk. Wolves purchased him for €30 million, only to sell him for £3.5 million. They had to take a massive loss on his remaining book value and likely still owe significant transfer installments to Valencia for the original fee. That is a severe strain on cash flow. They tried to reinvent club legend Matt Doherty as a central defender purely out of nostalgia rather than necessity, but in reality he's an aging fullback whose legs have gone and whose weaknesses have already been exposed at Tottenham and Atletico Madrid. The good news? They do have João Gomez, who is a reliable engine in midfield. He was even their supporters player of the season. But even with a bright spot, the ownership's financial straitjacket is forcing them to sell the future, and they face high risk of relegation. Now for our final club, we look at a collapse of a different kind, a historical European giant that didn't just fail on the pitch, but organisationally failed the system entirely. Lyon is suffering from a major long-term financial burden. We'll talk about debts reported to be in the region of hundreds of millions of euros, specifically 175 to over 500 million euros. This isn't just bad luck, this is a total failure of the organisational strategy. The shockwave hit when Lyon faced administrative relegation to League 2. They were financially relegated despite achieving sporting qualification because of financial mismanagement. For a club with Lyon's history, this event was a shock and indicates the collapse of multiple criteria from transfers, finances to youth development. The overall scale of this burden and mismanagement is described as large. And how did they try to survive? By cannibalizing their own future. They have been forced to sell promising young players such as Ryan Cherki at low valuations. These sales were a direct result of the extreme financial pressure facing the club. Lyon is a textbook case of a historic European giant collapsing due to a systematic, catastrophic financial failure. Whether it's the unprecedented transfer amortization costs and flop signings crippling Manchester United, the restrictive self-imposed financial straitjacket forcing asset stripping at Wolverhampton Wanderers, or the systemic organisational collapse and administrative relegation of Olympique Lyonnais, the result is the same: a generational disaster. These clubs represent different ways a football institution can fail, but they all share the common thread of a crippling lack of long-term control and an inability to convert high-cost investment into on-field success. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell. I'll catch you guys the next time. Thank you for watching.